I'm Reen Schwarzer, and you're listening to the Giant Sword Podcast. Microphones, activate.
Hello, and welcome to this week's Giant Sword Podcast. I'm your party leader, Nick Lynn. Joining me today, as always, is Taylor Hoyt. What's up, Taylor?
What is up, Nick? How you doing?
Pretty good. Excited for the PS5, you know.
Oh, yeah. No Shadow this week. We unfortunately had some scheduling conflicts. He's doing his HPMP podcast, so he'll be back on the next episode.
Yep. Yeah, couldn't help not recording last week because you all know why. The PS5 thing was delayed, so we had to come out.
Yeah.
You were expecting me to go somewhere else, didn't you?
I had no idea where you were going.
Yeah. So how's life been, Taylor?
Good. I mean, the last week has been Matt's girlfriend came into town, so I haven't really worked the last week. We just kind of took the week off, which is good. So just kept catching up on games, beat Xenoblade, been watching some shows. So a nice little mini vacation type of thing. So
plays a little bit of Call of Duty 4. Yeah, I got you.
Oh yeah, you know me and my Call of Duties. You play Warzone though, right? I always see you and Abe hopping on Warzone.
Oh, yeah, I play with my coworkers because that's all they play.
Gotcha.
So whenever they want to play, I join. Oh.
How has that been going? All the COVID stuff in California, because I know they've been doing waves and stuff, and it's still not all the way normal or whatever. So
yeah, it's still we're still in lockdown, and like everything's still closed. There's some shops that are open now, and restaurants. There's some restaurants that are outdoor seating. But it's now summer, so it's hot outside. Why would you want to sit outdoors, eat? Are you all opened up?
More or less. I mean, there's still like social distancing rules where they have markers everywhere. But
yeah, I feel like that's going to be here for the rest of the year. But I'm hoping that we open up soon because I want to eat. I want a haircut, guys.
You want some good ramen? Is that
no? I do. I want some
open?
Ramen. Mitsuwa, the store is open, but I don't know about the ramen shop.
That's a bummer. So little something. I might be coming out there in July for my cousin's wedding shower. So hopefully in a month things will open. I would be very sad if at least open In and Out. I just want my In and Out. That's all I want.
Well, you just get takeout for In and Out.
Yeah.
That's what you do for everything. You just get takeout. But some things are not good as takeout, like Gen.
Oh yeah, no, you got to sit there and cook it yourself, of course.
Yeah, it's just not as
for
good.
Those of people who don't know, Gen is like a Korean barbecue place where you cook it at the table, and it's really good. It's kind of expensive, but it's really good.
It's not expensive.
It's like $20 a person.
Only at dinner time. It's
is lunch cheaper?
Lunch is like $15.
I mean, that's still
so it's $15 for unlimited food for 3 hours.
Not bad. But you always got to get the side dishes. You got to get some rice. You got to get some salad. You know,
yeah. That's still part of the deal, man.
Okay.
We'll go when you're here in July.
Okay.
Well, there's some big news today, or not today. Just this in the last few days. Randomly, Persona 4 Golden's on PC now.
Yeah. Didn't see. I mean, that leaked a couple days ago, but I would have never have guessed that would come to PC. But it's cool. I mean, I haven't played it myself, but I've been watching the footage, and it, looks really crisp. Runs at 60 frames a second, and there's some, PC centric options that PC gamers like. So cool to see more people playing it. And I saw, I was following it on Twitter, and I think the peak was like 20,000 people playing it at once. So it's selling pretty well. That's pretty good for when did that originally come out? 2013, 2012?
Yeah, around 2012.
There. So that's pretty good for an 8-year-old game, or really a 12-year-old game if you want to call it from the PS2 days. So I
I was thinking that they were going to port over Persona 4 and not the golden version somehow. I was like, I bet you like this news is like too awesome that something bad's gonna happen. It's gonna be like the original Persona 4 or something like that. But no, it's the golden version.
$20. That's a really good price for that.
Hey, I already own it. I downloaded it and everything. It's already bought.
Oh, on PC? Nice.
Yeah. But of course this happens. This happens when I set up my PlayStation TV just to play Persona 4 and be able to stream it. And then they're like, "Oh, we're coming out with the PC version." I'm like, "Well, thanks."
I've seen a lot of people saying like, "Oh, I just bought a Vita a couple of months ago." It's like, well, you can still play it on Vita. But.
Yeah, I think it's better on Vita, but it's portable.
Portable, yeah. I do like that aspect. But yeah, that's cool. I'm excited more people get to play it, and hopefully, people are saying like, "What about Persona 3 and Persona 5?" Hopefully we get hopefully those get ports also. And
I like seeing. Oh, good one.
Oh no, I was gonna say like also like, well, why not put Persona 4 on PS4 and on Switch and all this stuff? So hopefully it gets everywhere.
Maybe Sony's like, yeah, you can put it on PC. We'll allow it. That's what I think is happening. But I love seeing everyone suddenly becoming a Persona 4 fan. All the Persona 5 fanboys are like, Persona 4, yeah, I know. It's like, no.
We were there, man. I was there back in the day. I screamed when I got the bad ending in 2010, okay?
And totally just walked out of my room mad and left because he couldn't handle it anymore. True story. True story.
Yeah, I was so angry. I was like, this can't be how this game ends. Because it has its own like animated cutscene and everything. I'm like, this is it.
And you just leave, yeah. Well, the bad ending or the new bad ending for Persona 4 or Persona 5 Royal also has an animated cutscene. Really?
Yeah. Interesting. I still need to play Persona 5 Royal at some point.
That bad ending, though. You're like, if only, right? You'd have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yep. But I know we talked about this last time, but do you think it's worth replaying, especially because I haven't played it since the original came out? I would say it's definitely worth replaying for you because you haven't played it since 2017. Yeah, since it came out.
So okay. Yeah. And you have a horrible memory, so you'll forget about everything. So you'll be playing like a brand new game. So
that's awesome.
That's perfect for you. Because if I forgot stuff, you definitely have forgotten stuff.
Probably. I know the broad strokes of the game, but I don't remember all the different social links and the different parts of the different dungeons. I remember the first dungeon pretty well, but the rest of the game is kind of hazy.
Yeah. There's some changes to the dungeons a little bit. Like the beginning that's told like that, when you first start the game when you're in the casino. That's different in one part.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's to introduce the grappling hook.
Ah, okay. Yeah. I heard that changes some things, so I'm excited to check that out.
So are you gonna play Persona 4 Golden or Persona 5 Royal? What are you gonna pick?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't really play a lot of games on my PC, so I don't know if I would end up getting Golden on PC. I'd probably just replay it on Vita. But they're like right now. So there's a lot of games that are about to come out. So Last of Us comes out on Friday. I know you're probably not super excited about that, but
you're excited for it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, like June and July, there's a lot of games that are supposed to come out. Like there's a lot of games I have on my list that are like summer 2020 and they don't have release dates yet. So yeah, I think the next couple months are going to get busy. My point being, I don't know if I'll have time to replay those, but it's something, there's a lull. Maybe I'll pop it in. I also just bought Tales of Berseria for the first time, so I'm playing through that, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
The other big news is PlayStation 5 was finally revealed. Finally revealed. How do you like the look of it, huh?
I was surprised. I was really shocked, but I like it. I think a lot of people are like, oh, it's over designed. It looks too futuristic. I think it looks cool. I think a lot of people also say like, who cares? It's going to sit under our TV. So what does it matter? I think that's also a good point.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I thought was interesting is at launch, it's going to have a digital only version.
Are you going to try to get that, or are you going to go? Are you going to?
I think the only reason I won't get that is because PS5 is supposedly backwards compatible with PS4. And so I want to be able to pop in my discs from PS4 and just see if they run better. That's the only reason. If I had no physical discs on PS4, I'd probably go all digital, just because with the way the world is now, I haven't gone to a game store. I haven't ordered a game physically basically the whole year. Just because it's so much easier to download and it's a little bit cheaper. Not much. It's like $5 cheaper, but mainly a convenience thing. But, for JRPGs, I always like to have a nice physical case. I think I'll probably always do that.
Mm-hmm.
But
me too. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I enjoy it. I liked it. I like how it looks. It's funny. It's just like it's white and black, so it's different. How I'm looking at all my Sony PlayStations in my room right now. There's the 4, there's the 3, and there's the 2, and those are all black.
Yep.
Only the Sony PlayStation 1 was like that gray color, which I love. That would have been awesome if that was like the color of the PS5 was just that gray color. Oh,
yeah, with the little, the red, orange, blue, green logo, like that would be awesome. But I understand why they're trying to make it look a little futuristic.
So with the games they showed, were you? I know there weren't any JRPGs shown.
Really? Yep. Yeah.
But what did you interested in any of the games?
Yeah, I mean, there were quite a few games, honestly. I really liked the remake of Ratchet and Clank on PS4, so the new one looks awesome. And I gotta say, I think the stream didn't do those games any favors because they probably can run in 4K. Mm-hmm. But I think, technically speaking, I think that Ratchet game was the most interesting because he was like warping between all those different worlds like instantly. And you just can't do that on PS4. It can't load that fast. So I thought that was really impressive.
It was funny because I was watching the Easy Allies reactions while that was going on. And then I forgot who said it, but they're like, oh, they're just showing off. They're just showing off right now.
Basically, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Ratchet looked good. I think we talked about this. That game, Kena Bridge of Spirits, looks really neat. That forest with the little sprites. That looked really cool.
It was like when they were first showing it, it was like, oh, this is just a movie. They're not going to show any gameplay. Then they started showing gameplay. And then they showed the town. And then like the first image that popped in my head was Taylor going like, so good. So good. Such a good town.
Well, it's funny that you say that because, in my thumbnail for my reaction video, people are like, oh, I hate fake reaction faces. That moment with the town, that was where that reaction came from. It was like a genuine, like,
to the town, by the way, to the town, which I totally called.
Yeah. But apparently that game's also coming to PS4. I didn't know that. So it's a cross-gen game. Mm-hmm. But it looks really great. I'm excited about that. They didn't show much, but Resident Evil 8 looks really cool. Or Resident Evil Village, whatever they're calling it.
No, it's Resident Evil 8 Village or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, isn't technically Resident Evil 7 Resident Evil Biohazard?
Yeah, it is. So
or Biohazard Resident Evil.
Yeah, depending on what country you're in. Yeah, because Japan did it backwards. It was Biohazard Resident Evil. But yeah, it looks cool. I love the setting. It reminds me of Bloodborne. It almost reminds me of Resident Evil 4 in a way.
Yeah,
there's that big church building. There's that village. There's werewolves, which apparently is the enemy. And that looks cool. It didn't look like it was running very good. It might have just been a stream, but it looked a little janky.
I mean, they definitely, I think in their normal trailer, if you watch like on a YouTube video, it still is a little stuttery. It's still got a little bit of work on it. They didn't show a release date, did they?
They just said 2021. That's all it said.
Yeah, January 2021.
Yeah, they've been doing those early releases, and they've been doing a yearly release for a while. So they did 2, and then 3, and then 8. And supposedly there's a 4 remake in the works. So can you imagine 4 years in a row there's a Resident Evil game?
Did you play the third one?
I didn't hear good things. I heard it was really short, and they cut the clock tower section from the original. So I was like, no thanks. And I didn't really like 3 to begin with. So
yeah, I remember you were when we did the stream.
Oh yeah,
and you were playing it, and you're just like, I can't. Oh, thank God this is over.
Well, Nemesis is just so annoying. Yeah, so I don't know. I may, if it gets really, really cheap, I might go pick it up, but I just was never a fan of 3. 2 is just so much better.
I heard 3 had some hints of a 4 remake, so
is that right?
There's some hints tying it to 4, so I was just
yeah. I'll be curious in the 4 remake if they use the same voice actor for Leon, or if they're gonna do somebody else again. But because they've changed Leon every single time from 1 to 4 to 6 to now the remake. So yeah.
Ooh, I want to play 2. I forgot I left at Connor's.
Have you beat it, right? You beat 2?
I beat 2 twice, yeah.
Okay. 1 with each character.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And then the last game, Horizon 2. I mean, that's what they closed the show with. Horizon looks awesome. It looks like it's going to take place in San Francisco, which is cool for us because we know what San Francisco looks like. So it'll be neat to see
a shithole.
Yeah, basically. It's the logical conclusion of San Francisco. It eventually just nature will take over. Yeah. So yeah, it looked. I mean,
I couldn't tell if that was gameplay or not. That was the bad thing. I was like, is it CG or is it in game, in engine?
In engine, yeah, in engine. That's probably what.
But I was like, this looks too good. But then again, it is Guerrilla. I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah, I think that's a fall 2021 game is my guess if they're willing to show it this early. But what about you? What impressed you, or what stood out to you?
Sackboy Adventure.
Really?
It looks fun.
Yeah, 4-player co-op.
I was watching this. I'm like, so what are they gonna do? Is this gonna be a cheap like knockoff? And then I started when the trailer played. I'm like, this looks like Super Mario 3D World. And I'm like, this actually looks fun. So that looked interesting. Of course, the Ghostwire. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo. I wasn't sure what to make of that game.
It looked interesting. It looked eerie. It looked spooky.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting it to be first person. That really surprised me that it was first person.
I think, I think they're going with this like psychological horror instead of like, gruesome gore like they did with Evil Within. Yeah. So that's why it was like all like weird. It was really weird, but not like gory and dark.
Yeah, it was strange. Like all these headless ghost things. And then he's got like these weird like kinetic powers. I couldn't really tell what was happening.
Yeah, they're doing like Naruto ninja spells, so hand motions. I was like, that's cool. The game that stole the show for me though.
Really? No jokes.
No jokes. Totally stole the show for me. Was Goodbye Volcano High.
I gotta say, I feel really bad for that development team because if you go on a YouTube channel and you look at the dislikes on that video are just, it's the worst of all the games that was shown. And then you go on there on Twitter, it's like, oh, it's a bunch of furry hentai bullshit or whatever. And I'm like, these guys must be so excited to get their game shown off at the PS5 event. People are just taking a dump on it. But I don't even know what kind of game it is. Like they didn't really do a great job of explaining what that game was.
It's obviously a Life is Strange type of story with furries, and it just screamed Tumblr. And I was like, okay, I get what the moment I saw it, I'm like, I get what this game is. Not for me.
Yeah.
But it was just like, it felt so out of place. It was in the middle of the conference, but I get like what Sony was doing. Sony was doing like indies with big, like in between all the big ones.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool that they showed it, but yeah, definitely. I don't think either of us are going to play that game.
Not our thing. The biggest disappointment though, is Demon Souls.
Why is that?
Because it wasn't Legend of Dragoon.
Hey, they could be working on multiple remakes.
No, they could be. It could be.
Yeah, I mean,
but when she was like, "This game is very dear to my heart," I'm like, "Oh, it could be it."
I still think that's a possibility. But yeah, I don't really care for that. I like Bloodborne, but I've tried all the other Dark Soul games, and I just
not your thing.
Me. Even Demon Souls.
Yeah, I own Demon Souls.
I was gonna say, I think I bought you Demon Souls for your birthday at one year or something. Yeah,
and I played it. It was interesting. It felt weird. I wonder if they're gonna keep the style like 1-to-1. Excuse me, or they're gonna upgrade it. That's what.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be curious. I mean, they posted some screenshots. It looks really nice.
Yeah, it looks really good.
But
I was just waiting. I was just waiting for that Japanese game, but they only showed the horror one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was that Project Avia or whatever, that girl that was leaping between the rocks. I mean, it barely showed anything. The game that's going to come out in 2028. Yeah, it's a ways off for sure. My secret hope was that they were going to show Final Fantasy 16. I was like, this might be the time, but
no, not yet. Not yet.
Maybe next year during the E3 window or whatever.
I don't know. Maybe during Tokyo Game Show. We just don't know.
It's true. Because
they didn't show, and they showed stuff that would appeal to the biggest demographics, like the Fortnite kart game.
Oh, the Destruction All Stars or whatever the heck that was called. Yeah.
I don't like that. Looks actually fun to play, but I don't know what you actually do. Like.
Yeah,
what it's like, it's Destruction Derby, but you get out of your car and then you can jump on other people's cars and destroy it. And I was like, what is this game? I want to see like actual gameplay. It looks interesting because it's just like, it looks like one of those fun indie games that I used to play on PS3. Like Calling All Cars. Who remembers that game?
For sure. I the whole time as I was watching this stream, I was like, the fact that this stream is in 1080/30 is doing a huge disservice to a lot of these games. Because I said that when I was watching that trailer, I'm like, I bet you this runs at 4K 60 and it looks super cool. But, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yep. I will say, there is hope yet for some JRPG goodness, because there's that New Game Plus Expo on the 23rd, I think. And that has like NIS and P-Cube and Xseed, like all the players you would expect to post the games we like. So maybe we still have Ys 9 coming up. Maybe. It's good.
One of the things that I want to see is Tales of Arise on the PS5, because that means it's gonna the lighting and the details are gonna be so much better on the PS5. I want to see how they handle that.
Yeah, I am shocked that we still have not seen anything about that.
I bet you they're waiting for the PS5 to be revealed. And now that it is, they're going to show it off on. It's like, oh, this is a PS5 game now. I bet you it's going to be a PS5 only game. Or a PS5. But not PS5, Xbox X or whatever, Series X or whatever.
You think they're going to get rid of the last gen? You don't think they'll make it cross-gen?
Maybe. They did that with Tales of Zestiria. I don't know. Maybe they're focusing on the next gen development. Maybe that's why it's taking so long.
It's been rated in a couple territories. I remember earlier in the year it got rated in Korea, so I'm like, it's got to be close. But I could simultaneously see this coming out in like September, but then I could also totally see it like getting delayed to next year. Like, it just depends. Yeah. But adequate. I would say like 8 out of 10. It wasn't like, oh my God, blow me away, because there weren't really any huge surprises, I don't think. Unfortunately, a lot of this stuff leaked. Let me get your take on this. There have been a lot of leaks about a Silent Hill game. Were you surprised to not see Silent Hill there?
I wanted the hope. I wanted to believe. But yeah, I don't expect it. Like, it would be cool.
Do you think it's real?
I don't know. I just don't know. They're doing all these weird collab things with Silent Hill and other games. So maybe they're trying to build up hype for Silent Hill to announce like a remake. I was hoping, I thought there was a chance that the Resident Evil 8 trailer was the Silent Hill remake. but then it became Resident Evil, and I was like, oh, okay, this is fine. This is good.
Yeah,
this is good. I don't mind this. This is another horror game that's fun. I still need to play 7 though.
Oh, you haven't played 7?
I have not played 7.
I think you would probably like it. It's a very unlike, outside of it being first person, the setting and everything is very unlike any other Resident Evil.
I just remember when it was show and it was like Project Kitchen or whatever, and people were like, "This is just a PT clone. What is this?"
Yeah, it's nothing like PT.
Yeah.
I remember it was Yumi and Connor watching it. I remember when they announced it, it said 7, and then it was Resident Evil 7. We were all like, "What?" That was like so crazy.
That was fun.
So, yeah.
Wait, were you there when they announced, when we were watching, when they showed off Resident Evil 2? Or was that on? So. Was that here or was that on like Discord?
I think it was there because that was the same E3 where Microsoft announced DMC5, and I remember I was at your house for that. So I want to say we were there. Yeah, I was at your house, I think. Yeah.
That was fun. I remember you were like, "What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this?"
The rat game. Yeah.
Oh, that was a good trailer, and that was a good announcement. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get back to those JRPGs, man. Is there any other news? So Persona 4 was announced with PC. Same with Story of Seasons. So that's interesting. Switch is playing ball with PC.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if they can mod the PC version of that game to make it for Friends of Mineral Town to make it a little bit better, because there's some issues that are annoying and it doesn't look great. So I'm wondering if mod scene will take over and
they just make it the PS1 graphics. Like, that's better.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. 60 frame 1080p 4K PS1 game. Let's go.
Let's go.
But yeah, no, I mean, that's cool. I will probably get it on Switch anyway, just because for the portability aspect. But yeah, it looks cool. Are you interested in that Friends of Mineral Town remake?
Yeah. So I need to. There's so much stuff to play. Anywho, let's move on. So you beat Xenoblade, but before that,
yes,
we beat Cosmic Star Heroine.
Oh, you played it too?
Yeah, I beat it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
So what did you think about that?
It was fun. I mean, the story it's okay. But I actually really like the battle system. I like how you can only use like one move at a time, and then you have to like refresh your move set. And there's not really grinding. I mean, you showed me that you can grind if you want to. I eventually found that in the menu, but if you play the game normally, there's really no grinding. You just go through the zone and you fight the enemies that are there, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, it was cool. I mean, it took me 13 hours, not super long. Yeah, it was neat, fun little game. What do you think?
I enjoyed it. It fell into the trap of Chrono Cross, where there's so many characters that I don't care about any of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Except for like the main ones, which is I forgot Alyssa and Chan.
Yeah.
That's the only two. Those are the only characters I really cared about.
I didn't really care about any of the characters outside of their usefulness in battle.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of them. I like some of the characters are just like, oh, we have the same goals, I'll join you, and then okay, I'll leave, and then half the game later, oh, we were on the same quest again, I'll join you again for the rest of the game. It's
yeah,
like, okay.
A little contrived, but who did you have in your party, or who did you like?
My party was all girls, so it was Alyssa, Chan, Lauren, and Arate, whatever her name is.
The girl with the
goggles.
The goggles. Hey, wait, and who's Laura?
Laura's the singer girl with the knives.
Oh yeah, with the green hair or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So I had Chan, is that her name?
Chan, yeah.
Yeah, I had her. I had the bald security guard guy.
Oh, him, yeah.
He just hit really hard. And then I want to say I had the ant, like the little ant bug guy.
Mm-hmm.
He just had good buffs, or they had good buffs. So, yeah, that was my team.
I mean, I just know that at the end of the game, Chon was godlike.
Really?
Yeah, she would do, I think, in like 3 turns, she would do 20k damage. Just one.
Wow.
That's one shot.
Wow.
And it like killed like every boss. I killed like the final boss instantly. All forms of it. It was really funny.
That's awesome. Yeah, that was kind of how the security guard guy is, because you go into like the burst mode, or I forget what it's called, and then he has a move where it's like next turn you do extra damage. So I would just build it, save it all up, and then
Yeah, so I would hype like that. That was called hype. It was hype. So on the 3rd turn, it'll be hype. So what I would do is I would use just a normal thing, a normal move that gives you a lot of style, and then I had a shield that was like super. I think it was called godlike, and you found it in the final boss, final area, and it had a move which does a ton of style. So my style would be at 200%, and then I had an ability. Which one was it? I think it was bombardment, which shoots like a laser from the sky. And and it's a burst move, so that uses style. So I would be hyper with 200% style, and I would use that. So it just does like 20k damage. I'm like, yeah, and I could do that multiple times. I didn't. It wasn't only like one and done, like some of the shield moves are. Shield moves, it's like you use it once and you can't use it again in the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one was like reusable. So I was like, it's a good combo. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It took it wasn't a long game, but it felt like it took a long time because I was playing like 30 minutes a day. So I was just pick it up, play it, and then I'd be done. Because I couldn't.
That's kind of how I played it too. Yeah, I just played it like hour here, hour there. Yep.
Yeah, you guys should go check it out if it's on sale still.
Did you get it for $1.50?
Yeah, I got it for really cheap. I'm sorry, guys.
That's a stupid cheap price. Like I tried to like put it out there as much as possible. Like even if you don't play it right now, like $1.50 is like too good of a price to pass up.
Might
as well be free.
Yep. Poor guys. I wonder how they did, because I remember we did an interview with them.
That's right. Yeah, PSX. That was like what, 4 years ago or something.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a while ago, but yeah, hopefully it did pretty well.
So Unbeaten Chasm, and I was really into that game.
I know, dude. I remember you kept going back to play that demo over and over and over and over, and then the game came out. And you're like, whatever.
It's like, yeah. So one of the big games came out recently, and it's called Xenoblade. And what I've been playing is not Xenoblade. I've been playing Zero no Kiseki, which is
did you play the fan translation version or whatever? I
started playing that. I bought it, so I didn't pirate it, guys. I actually bought it from a site. It was a Japanese version, and then I installed the patch, and it's on my portable hard drive, so I could bring it to like any computer and start playing it.
Nice.
So that's fun.
How is it?
I've played it before on my PSP, but it's on a PSP, so it's all blurry, and I don't like that. Yeah, it's fun. It's just a Trails game, and it's a game that you're like, oh, I don't want to talk to all these people. I have to pick up 3 library books. What is it? Why do I even care?
See, I'm glad you see it my way.
I was just being you.
Yeah.
No, but that's exactly what some of the side quests are. Like, I wasn't lying. One of the side quests was there's these overdue library books, and you got to go find the people who.
Jeez.
Got to help
Terrible.
out. You got to help out you're helping out the community, and that's what you had to do. So that's fun. But what we really want to talk about is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Taylor beat it. And this is his first time playing it. I played the Wii version back in the day, and I beat that. So I want to hear Taylor's thoughts on this game.
Yeah. So to preface, I actually think it's a pretty good game. You know, the combat's fun.
Better than 2's combat.
2 is just overly complicated. Yeah. 1 is very simple, or a little bit more straightforward, I should say. So I enjoyed that much more. And I like that you don't have to always have Shulk in your party. Like you could even take him out of the party and not even use him if you don't want to. Although there are battles where I felt like they were impossible if you didn't have him, just because of some of his movesets.
Yeah, you need like when you fight Mechon, you need him.
Well, at one point in the game, you get weapons that say these weapons can do damage to Mechon, so you don't need him. After one point in the game, you can take him out.
No.
Yeah, here's what I'll say. I all the reviews, a lot of people on Twitter were like, "Oh my god, this game is just so big. There's these giant areas," and I'm like, "Okay, what do you actually do there?" There's only 2 things you do in that game. You fight monsters and you pick up little blue orbs, and that's it. There's no secrets to find. You can't go off a beaten path and find like a treasure chest somewhere. I'm like, oh man, I'm glad I went over here and got this treasure chest. At least that I went out of my way a couple of times to like find areas, and there were like little mining deep deposits, but there were never like secret items or anything. At least in my playthrough.
In his playthrough.
And then the thing that I found hilarious is I was talking to somebody on Discord, and they were like, yeah, I think I'm near the end of the game. I'm about 40-ish hours in. I'm like, yeah, it took me about 45 hours to beat. And he's like, I feel like there's so much more to go, because in my original playthrough, it took me like 60 hours. I'm like, that's interesting. So I went on howlongtobeat.com, and people are beating the median time is 47 hours for Definitive Edition, just for the main story. And then in Xenoblade Original, it was 68 hours. And I was like, how is there a 20-hour time disparity? What happened? And so I went on Twitter and Discord, and apparently the map in OG Xenoblade is garbage. Like, it doesn't explain where you need to go. It doesn't detail side quests very well. So you're just like aimlessly roaming the map.
It's not that it doesn't do it very well. It just doesn't do it. So what it does is it tells you, you read the things, you read the side quests, it's like, go kill these things, right? And you're like, okay, where are they? Sometimes they say it's near this landmark. So you're like, okay, go over there. And sometimes they're not there because they're only there in certain times of the day. And you don't know this shit. So now it's it shows little red what's it called? Exclamation points. Yeah. So imagine having to find those little blue orbs for a quest, but you didn't know which ones are which.
Oh god. That would be so annoying.
So it's like, oh, I lost my watch. I gotta find. It's like, can you please help me find it? You have to find one of those blue orbs in that huge map. You had to look everywhere.
And and so here is I tweeted the other day. I'm like, I'm gonna have some thoughts on this game. Mm-hmm. I think this has got to be one of the most overrated JRPGs I've ever played in my life. Like straight up, because like. Based on you saying like people loved the Wii version, the original, like this is like, it's a masterpiece. It's like one of the best RPGs ever. And apparently you're wandering around aimlessly, and then it gets fixed in this one. I like I said, it was fine. It was a fun game. There was mysteries that kind of drug me along, and I was interested up until a point, and then I stopped caring. And then the combat, I think it's not very deep. It shows its thinness as the game goes on. I'm just doing the same thing over and over. There's not like interesting things they're doing with the combat. Once you get like your favorite party members, there's no reason to swap them out. But yeah, I don't know. The analogy I kept saying to myself was wide but shallow. Like there are these giant areas, but all you do is fight monsters and collect and pick things up. And I don't know. I heard people were like, oh, the voice cast should be winning awards. This was like amazing voice cast. And I was like laughing at how bad some of the lines were delivered at points, like literally laughing. But they're like, no, don't go. Shulk, stop him. No, it was like horrible. Oh my God, it was so bad.
It's rhyme time.
It's rolling time. I actually like that. I seen that meme. And I'm like, what are people talking about? Rhine time? I'm like, oh no, I get it.
Now you get it.
So I don't know. It's fine, but it's not like this masterpiece, best game ever. Like not even close, in my opinion.
So the ending. No, I want to talk about the ending. Did you you're like, hey, I've played this ending before in its sequel.
So I was talking to Oz about this on Discord, and I totally forget what happens at the end of Xenoblade 2. I remember there being something. I remember there being something where you're like, "Oh, this is just Xenoblade 1." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" But I don't really remember what happens. So
yeah, it was this. Damn it, Taylor! Damn it on your memory.
Yeah, I should just watch the cutscene or something. But am I out of line? Like, I know you weren't the biggest fan. It was mainly because you're playing a Wii game on the Wii U, but like, are we kind of in the same ballpark as far as how we feel about it?
I see. I get why people like it, but I also like, I don't, it's like, I feel that the story elements of the game are so wide and in between, like, you know, so separated that it feels empty. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. Like it's
I totally get what you mean.
It's really like it feels empty for like 20 for hours at a time.
Agreed. Yeah.
And then it gets to the story points, and then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, now it's getting good. Oh, now I gotta walk through these 3 giant fields, killing monsters and doing, you know, running and doing, catching, clicking, doing side quests, killing monsters, picking up blue orbs.
Yep.
And then you get to the story part and you're like, okay, this is good. And then, yeah, that's what I felt like.
I'll agree with that. Cause like I said, there are points where it's like, okay, who are the Mechon? Why can some of them talk? Like the mysteries were really intriguing, but then once you figured out the mysteries, I felt like the end of the game dragged so hard. I felt like the end of the game, I was just like, oh my God, let's just get this over with. Because they kept throwing twist after twist after twist. And I was like, oh, I can't care. After the 5th twist, I stopped caring. Like you can't throw that many twists. So, do you know what I mean when I say that?
To be honest, I don't remember the ending all that much.
Oh, Nick, in your bad memory.
All I know is the ending. Like what actually is that world?
Yeah.
And what happened and what happens at the end. That's what I remember. I don't remember I remember the Mechon. I remember why the talking Mechon are talking. I called that when I first played it. I'm like, these are just them. That's very vague. I know I'm being vague, but that'll be a spoiler. That's them. I know that. This is obvious.
It was very poorly telegraphed. It was like, of course this is what this is. Yeah.
But I don't remember. Oh man, I need to finish this game then, because I don't remember.
Well, I'll keep it vague. So there is, at the end of the game, there are 2 people that betray you, that have been with you through the game for a while, and then you find out what the true nature of the Telethia are.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember Telethia, those kind of green monster things.
Those those flying space fish.
Yeah. So you find out what those are, and then there's the end of the game that you're talking about. So it just kind of hits you over the head over and over and over. And I was just like, I'm done. I'm exhausted. And something that I think it was Neil Druckmann, who is the director for Last of Us. I think it was him or it was Ken Levine who directed BioShock, said simple story, complex characters. And I feel like almost always JRPGs get that backwards, but when they do get it right, it gets it so right, you know? And I feel like Xenoblade, they try to make this overly complicated story with all these layers, and it just never... At some point, I just stopped caring, I guess. Like, if every character in your party just died, I'd be like, okay, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. So good. It's good.
And I think, what you just said about the story pacing, I think that is the fatal flaw of the Xenoblade series on a whole, is that Monolith does not know how to pace their games out. All their games are 10 to 20 hours too long. 2, I just thought was way too long. That game could have easily been 20 or 30 hours shorter. Xenoblade X has that level gating to get to the next part of the story. And then in Torna, the 2's expansion, you need to fill up this community by doing side quests. And if you don't do it, you can't finish the game. So they're padding it. So I feel like they don't know how to pace their games well.
Did you do the mini game to rebuild the colony in Xenoblade Chronicles? Did you even know that? Did you even know that it existed?
I was looking up walkthroughs and stuff, and they kept saying stuff about Colony 6. Is that what you're talking about? Colony 6?
Yeah,
I kept going back, and I'm like, what are they talking about? Because there's those 2 Nopons that are there. So I kept talking to them, and I'm like, nothing's happening. So I don't know what they were talking about. I kept going back constantly, but nothing was there. So I don't know what I meant.
You could actually like rebuild that colony.
Oh, geez. Well. Yeah. That was not, and I think that's another thing that Xenoblade doesn't do very well. It does not explain its systems very well. That in particular, the thing that, I mean, I guess that's a side activity, but
yeah. Now imagine that without the radar,
dude. I think that's the most confusing thing about this game is that people thought it was a masterpiece before all these quality of life issues, and I'm like, what was so appealing about that game? Was it that people were campaigning so hard to get outside of Japan with Operation Rainfall and all that stuff? Or was it that there were just no RPGs on the Wii? Like, I'm so confused as to why people loved it so much back then.
I can tell you why.
Okay.
It's your second part. It's your second reason, but not just the Wii in general. There were like no JRPGs.
That's a good point. Yeah, if we put ourselves back into the dark era of JRPGs, that makes sense actually, because it looks bad. Like I've seen the Wii version, like the character models don't look great. It's SD or standard definition. Because I played the 3DS version for like an hour. I was like, yikes, this is rough.
Well, that's a 3DS version. Oh, that probably looks worse than the Wii. Yeah. Did you have it on the Wii? Did you have it on the Wii? Like you?
No, the only Wii game I own is The Last Story.
Me too, and I haven't even played that.
That's funny.
You beat it though. You beat The Last Story.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine.
It's all right.
I'll say this. I think Xenoblade's better than The Last Story. That's for sure.
I do.
Yeah.
Like this. You know what this game? You know what this itches?
MMO. Well, it's got MMO combat.
That's exactly what it is.
Side quests and just
that's what it is. Yeah. So of course Kimpy loves it.
And I will say that I actually kind of enjoyed those moments where I'm like, let me get to new zone, pick up like 20 side quests and just like goof off for an hour. That was fun. I actually kind of enjoyed it because the combat was cool and the actual like art design is nice. But like I said, I think the actual level design is boring. It's just big open areas where there's not much to do.
Why do people love this game so much and hate White Knight Chronicles, which is the same exact thing?
I don't know. Maybe because they expected more from level 5, maybe?
I don't know. I can kind of tell you why. Because of the stupid avatar that's just like in the background.
Yeah, the faces in White Knight Chronicles are inexcusable for a level 5 game, in my opinion.
I like the system. The system's interesting. The online mode was pretty cool. It's just the story was lacking because you were this character that did not belong in the story. The main character, you should have been. They tried to westernize. They totally did. Try to westernize a JRPG. Because JRPGs, there is no custom characters. You're always supposed to play as a character predetermined. Which you're supposed to. Because you remember when they first showed it off? There was no avatar. Yeah. You were I forgot the guy's name.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you were him.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you say that because Xenoblade X had a customizable avatar, but I'd have to sit and think for a minute to think of another JRPG where you have a character creator because most of them don't have that. Yeah. And I'm not going to count like Dark Souls, those kinds of games. Those don't count.
Those aren't JRPGs.
Yeah.
And I don't count Persona because yes, you put your name in, but you're still that character.
Yeah, you're not like designing him, changing the way they look or anything. As far as their face and hair and all that stuff.
You know what I need to do? I need to replay White Knight Chronicles. I need to do that.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. I need to.
You really don't.
Yeah, I need to.
That is a skid stain on the reputation of Level 5 because all their other games are like very anime looking, you know, and that one's not.
Yeah, it kind of is. Not like super anime,
but not like Ni no Kuni.
Yeah, not Ni no Kuni. But to get back to the point, it plays like Xenoblade. Big open world, big open areas, finding little blue orbs, lots of combat in between story moments.
Interesting.
I was just thinking about it. I'm like, wow, it's actually extremely similar because it feels like an MMO. That's what White Knight Chronicles was an MMO, a single player MMO.
Well, literally, because I played 2 for a bit, and you can do like dungeons with other people. Like you can go do dungeon quests.
That's the Avatar multiplayer part, which is cool.
And then there was, I don't know about 1, but in 2 there was some like town building aspect or base building or something.
Yeah, the geo
front or something.
I forgot what it was called. Yeah, it's something geo. But
Geostigma, that's it.
Yeah, Geostigma. It was all in Cloud's right arm too.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, it was kind of like what's it called? Oh my gosh, can't think of the name. Starts with D. The Level 5 game.
Dark Cloud.
Dark Cloud. Yes, it was like Dark Cloud.
Yeah.
Where you build this town, you get parts, and depending on how you set up the town, you get like bonuses.
Interesting. Yeah, Dark Cloud was fun. That was a fun little game. Combat was a little stiff, but fun game.
You need to play Dark Cloud 2. Apparently, it's way different.
Yeah, that's more like alchemy based. I don't know if there's anything to do with like town building.
Do you remember our the math teacher at King's who was super into Dark Cloud?
Mr. Simpson or Mr. Bunce?
Mr. Bunce.
Dude, Mr. Bunce, I remember one family group time we were trying to beat like Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2 or something like that. He was big into video games. He would always do everything. I remember he's like, yeah, I have to do everything. I have to dodge lightning 1,000 times in Final Fantasy X or whatever. Yeah. But he was also a pedophile, apparently. Or he would like hit on girls and stuff. I'm like, that's weird.
Wah wah. That turned dark. It was like a good memory, and then suddenly it was soiled by Taylor here.
Yep. Well, I'll bring it back to something positive. I remember Mr. Simpson. He was such a weird guy. I remember one time I was in line at the student store or whatever, and he was getting Dr. Pepper. I'm like, oh, Dr. Pepper, huh? He's like, yeah, it's better than Poopsie or Mountain Poo or something like that.
That sounds like him. I just remember the weirdest thing is I would be playing Diablo 2 because he was really into Diablo 2.
Okay.
And he would just join my game and start playing. It was like Connor and I playing Diablo 2, and then it's like, yeah, this is my Bible teacher. My Bible teacher's playing Diablo 2 with us.
That's awesome. That's funny. So in conclusion, Xenoblade, decent game, but not a masterpiece.
Yeah, it's a good game. You should play it. Just don't expect the world. Unless you're really into MMOs, then that's going to definitely itch that itch.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good product of its time. I know a lot of people are going to be like, these guys are idiots. The best game ever made. No.
Yeah, no. Because I've seen...
That's just Strega, all right?
That's right. Don't sleep on Distrega. No, I mean, I've seen so many people like, oh, it's one of the greatest RPG series I've ever. It's like, all right, let's pump the brakes, guys. It's okay.
Pump it.
It's fine. It's fine. And I'm waiting for one Xenoblade game to like blow me away. And honestly, you know what's, as I'm thinking about all the different Xenoblade games, I think the one that hooked me the most, or the one I wanted to like the most, was Xenoblade X. If it weren't for the really terrible faces and the level gating for the story, I think that would probably be my favorite, because the premise is so cool. The premise is Earth was getting destroyed by aliens, so we had to find a new home. That's the premise. And so you like crash land on this alien planet, and you're building up you're essentially rebuilding the human race. And then you get flying mechs, and like the gravity's different there. So when you can like jump over houses in that game. It was so fun. I love just jumping off things, jumping over things. But yeah, the faces were terrible, and the level gating. That's it. If they fix those two things, do that for Xenoblade X2, and then we got ourselves a game. Now we're talking.
Yeah, there you go.
You haven't played X, right?
No, I haven't. I said
so surprised.
I said if they port it over to the Switch, I would play it. Maybe they'll do maybe they'll do a remastered version like they did the definitive edition, and they'll fix the faces.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's a couple things they could fix. There's some quality of life things that they could add to that too, because X was very like vertical, where there'd be different levels. So when you're going out to do a side quest, it's really hard to tell, like, are they on the level 1, 2, 3, 4? It was hard to tell where you're supposed to go. Yeah.
See, saying Xenoblade Chronicles is one of the greatest JRPGs I've ever made. It's a masterpiece. It's like saying Tales of Symphonia is a masterpiece, and one of the greatest games ever made. All right, just telling you. All right. They're not true.
Or any Tales games for that matter.
They're not true. It's just not true. Everything after Tales of Symphonia, that's not true. Everything before Tales of Symphonia, all are masterpieces.
Really quick before we close out talking about what we've been playing, I bought Tales of Berseria on sale for $6, which I was like, all right, now's the time. Why not? And you know my thoughts on everything leading up to Berseria. Does Berseria kind of redeem itself in some ways, or is it? I've heard a lot of people say it was a lot better than Zestiria.
It's Zestiria except complete.
What does that mean?
Meaning it plays like Zestiria. I mean, it's like it's not plays like Zestiria. It's set up like Zestiria, the open world stuff and all of that. The combat's more refined. It's the same world. And it feels like a more complete product. Like it actually was finished, and it's well made. It's good. It's a Tales game. If you don't like those type of games, then you won't like Berseria.
You know what my thing is always my problem with the modern. I would say the last 3 or 4 Tales games are combat's good, music's good, character design is good, but the dungeon design is super boring, and the story can lose pace at some point. But this one is not a happy, cheery power of friendship. It's apparently like really dark and like you're the bad guy, kind of, from what I understand.
You're the bad guy like Joker and Persona 5 characters are bad guys.
You're the bad guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
At least you got what I meant.
Yeah. Society's the bad guy, and we're just trying to stop him or something. The establishment.
It's interesting because it sets up the shepherd and all that stuff from the beginning, and it like explains where all this stuff came from and like its origins. And it's interesting where it came, like where these things came from. I keep saying where they came from, but I'm trying to be vague. Sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. But if you haven't played Zestiria, you won't you'll still like get it, but it won't have as big of an impact. That's why I say you should play Zestiria before you play Berseria. Because it's interesting to see where how they connect.
Interesting.
But it's like here's one. It's like playing Cold Steel without playing Sky. Like you can,
yeah,
but you won't get some stuff,
Sure. Cool. Yeah. No, I'm excited to play that. I just heard it's one of the better Tales games, and I've wanted the series to redeem itself Arise looks like it's gonna, but we're gonna have to wait a little while.
Yeah, Zestiria could have been a good one if they, didn't spend their entire budget on the music.
The music,
because the music in Zestiria is amazing. It is,
yeah.
It's like caliber is higher than, everything else in that game, which is weird. It's just like, the music's awesome, but the things were missing. They made really weird design decisions about where you could do skits, where you could only do them at save points. It's like, fuck, so weird. Yeah, I bet you didn't notice that.
I never look at the skits are boring to me. I never look at Tails skits.
Oh, their skits are great, especially the Berseria ones. And the items where you could merge things and stuff like that. It just I hate things where I hate games where you can create your items and merge things that make a +2 item. Because
you hate that or you like that?
I don't like that because it makes finding treasure, finding different special weapons, not as special, because you're oh, I'm just going to use this. I'm just going to use this long sword from the beginning of the game that's level 27. It's better.
Interesting. Huh. I hear what you're saying. I think that's a good point. Because I like that too. I like the discovery of, oh, I got this new awesome weapon and I went out of my way to find it and it makes it special, so I'm going to use it. So I hear you.
Yeah, that thing that bothered me. But yeah, I went on a little tangent there. Let's do some questions.
Oh, okay. Some GSP questions.
Okay. From Hookah La Kunk. In a game of Marry, Cuddle, Kill, where do you each place of these 3 JRPG girls? Tifa Lockhart, Chiasa Tanaka, and Tyr Grants.
All right, so we've got... So it's Tifa,
Chie, and Tyr.
And Tyr. So it's Marry, Cuddle, Kill. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Marry, oh boy. That's a hard one.
He's being really unfair. But I already have my answer.
Okay, so here's my answer. Okay, so I think I would marry Chie for her personality.
Wow.
She's got the whole package. She's fun, she's spunky, she's gonna support you. So I would marry Chie, cuddle Tifa, just because she's hot, obviously. And then I don't have enough of an attachment to Tyr for these to qualify. So that's really my only reason, is that I've never beat Abyss, so I don't know her enough. I mean, she's hot, but that's about it. That's all I know.
All right. I would marry Tifa.
Okay.
Because she's everything you just said about Chie, except it's Tifa.
Except it's Tifa. You might be right.
I would cuddle Tyr because she's super waifu material. And then sadly, I would kill Chie. Reluctantly, saying, I'm sorry.
You know what? You make a compelling argument, Nick. I think I'm going to change my answer to what you just said. I think I'm going to change my answer. Yeah.
Because what Nick said.
Because I'm thinking of OG Final Fantasy VII Tifa, but then you think about how she is in the remake, and she's totally different.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking about. So I was like, when you were saying she's dependable, she's I got your back, she does all this stuff, she's cute. You just what?
Now, if they instead had Aerith instead of Tifa, that would have been a 1 second no brainer. Although, I don't know. They both have their strong points.
Yeah.
But good game.
Good game. Josiah Otaku. In an odd dystopian future, video games are outlawed. The activity of merely playing video games is a minimum of 20 years in prison. What would you do? Would you seek a land free of this law? Would you illegally enjoy what you love or abandon it forever? See that? So, how easy is it to play it illegally? Are we being like, is this like 1985 or 84 where we're being watched 24/7?
Yeah. Because like, okay, here's a good example. Like, it's illegal to smoke marijuana in South Carolina where I live, right? Mm-hmm. But people do it all the time. So is it, like you said, is it that easy? Can I like, let me just get my game? Like, are they tracking it? If it was that easy, I'd probably just risk it. But if it was 1984 style, I would, as crazy as this sounds, I would probably move somewhere else, like Canada or Korea or something.
But what if you can't move away? Maybe the entire world's like that.
If the entire world's like that, oh boy. Yeah, I just played illegally then.
Yep.
Just one game slowly at a time. Because if you just like cycle through them, it might look a little, sketchy. So you just have to be careful, I guess.
All right. So here's my reasoning.
Okay.
All right. So we've already played our games, right? Where this happened, This has happened. Obviously, since they're illegal, no new games are being played already, or being made. I've had my share. I would just do something else.
Really?
I would focus on other things,
like barbecuing,
barbecuing, or skateboarding, or doing stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Guys, come on. We're in our 30s. We've already played the games. We've already played all our backlog, and we already own it, right? We already own all our video games. Did they take them all away? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
It's like our Second Amendment. You can't take our guns. What are they going to do? Take our guns? Hillary Clinton's going to come to our house and take our guns.
Over my dead body.
That's funny. These are good questions this week. Very thought provoking.
From Agent Sensation 24. Are you planning to get the PS5 day one? I usually wait a year or two after a console release before buying. Yes.
What if it's $600?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. So why do you want to get it day one?
My PS4's CD drive is broken.
That's, that's a good point. So, okay, what if it can, have they confirmed that it's backwards compatible with PS4? I forget.
Yeah, I think they have.
Okay.
But I don't think what they haven't confirmed is it backwards compatible with other things. So.
Interesting.
Like
that's a good argument.
No, I have to because I need to replace my PS4. It actually is breaking. But the same thing, even if it's $600, that's, if I know that price, that's just me saving up $100 of a paycheck, and that's easy for me. I could pay that off in like 2 paychecks. It's not much. It's like I have a good job. I could easily afford this. It's simple.
Now, here's the next question. Are you going to upgrade to a 4K TV?
No, there's no reason for me to.
There's no reason. Aren't all these games out of the box going to do 4K though? I
have a monitor. That's fine with me. Might be able to get a 4K monitor, but I don't need to right now.
Because that's what I'm struggling with right now is, do I get a 4K TV now in preparation? Because I've heard that 4K is totally different. Is the TV in your living room, is that a 4K TV?
It is.
Okay. Can you notice a difference?
I noticed that it's smoother. Do you remember the difference between SD and HD?
It was pretty noticeable.
It was pretty noticeable, right? So imagine, do you notice the difference in videos, like on YouTube? This is a better comparison, from 720 to 1080.
Okay, that is a better comparison. To me, it's like you can notice, but it's like it's not that big of a deal.
That's like 4K. It's obviously like it's way crisper, but it's not like mind blowing.
Because every time I go into Costco, it's like the first thing you see when you walk in. I'm like, $800 for a 60-inch 4K TV.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's 4K's TVs aren't expensive anymore.
No, not.
The only TVs that are expensive are the OLED. And maybe 8K TVs, but those are rare.
That is so. I gotta say, I've heard people talk about 8K. I feel like at some point we're gonna hit diminishing returns for pixels. Like at some point it's gonna be so crisp that it's gonna look uncrisp. If that makes any sense.
I think we're already there. Like the 4K, it's so crisp, but it's like I don't want to see it like this.
It's too crisp.
It looks fake.
You know what? I am the same way, but when it comes to frame rate. So like when Last of Us Remastered came out on PS4, you could play it either at 30 or 60 frames per second. They gave you the option. And every time I played it in 60, it just looked so weird. It looked less cinematic. And there's certain games where I want it to look like that, like a Naughty Dog game or like a horror game. Like a horror game in 60 looks weird. It looks too smooth. To me, it feels weird. So I feel like horror games, big like single player narrative stuff, but with like JRPGs or games with like super stylish art styles, like Ratchet and Clank, yeah, put that in 60 frames per second. It'll look amazing. Or even Persona 5. Like if you put Persona 5 on PS5 and it can run at 60, like perfect. Like go ahead. I hope going forward with now that we have SSD drives in those and that things are going to load super fast, that I hope they give that option where you can do 30 at a higher resolution or 60 at a slightly lower resolution. I hope they give those options.
I think everything like now PS5, I think everything's going to be 60 frames unless they do like crazy 8K, 4K stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how old your TV is that you're using right now for your gaming. So
it's I'm trying to think of when I bought it. Probably like 4 or 5 years old, something like that. Probably actually at least 5 years old. Because I remember I ordered it when I was still living with my grandparents, and that was at least
that's a
4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah. So it's pretty old. So like I said, I've been eyeing those 4K TVs. So I may have to grab one. Although I have nothing that can take advantage of it right now because I don't have a PS4 Pro.
Which do you think will, from my Travis 13, which do you think will come out first? Final Fantasy 16 or FF7 Remake Part 2? And do you think we'll get either before 2024?
Yes, I think we'll definitely get one before 2024. That's so far away.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get Part 2 by earliest 2021. Late 2020.
Really?
Yeah.
You think next year we'll get Part 2?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because they've already working on it. They've already been working on it. They've already got the engine down. They already got the systems down. They got everything all good, all set. All they have to do is make the narrative and make the graphics, make the story elements. It's not all the hard stuff.
Yeah, well, now they got to make it open world. Although I feel like that won't be as hard because they're doing it on Unreal, and that Unreal 5 engine demo was really impressive. So I can't imagine that being a problem anymore. I think loading and memory and all that is like a thing of the past. Now it's your imagination is the limit. I feel like.
Then again, it depends on what we'll see. If we see what we see when it first reveal trailer, if the first reveal trailer is just a teaser with a dumb cutscene, then we're probably gonna get it in like 2023. If it's like actually like a lot of gameplay and like a lot of scenes from the game that you would recognize, then we're probably gonna be getting it earlier, 2021, 2022.
But the question is, what is coming first? I mean, 16 has definitely been in development longer than Part 2 has. I mean, there's been rumors that they've been working on that game since like 2017, 2018. So I think it's time. And the rumors are bubbling, and that may have just been people pulling stuff out of their butt for the PS5 event, which I think a good percentage of that was. But it's been 4 years since Final Fantasy 15, and
which was originally Final Fantasy Versus 13.
True. So You know, I've heard people say, "Oh, Square Enix doesn't have enough people to make both at the same time." They totally do. Like Square Enix is a big company, so they absolutely have the manpower to make both games at the same time. I'm gonna say 16. If I had to make a bet, I'd say 16.
Really? You want to make a Taco Bell bet?
Taco Bell. We're still waiting on Persona 5
on the Switch. It's over. It's over. It's not coming out on the Switch. It will not.
But you know something else you also said is you thought PS5 was going to be a Switch-like thing. You remember you saying that?
Yeah, it should have.
It should have. Yeah, we could. I'm down to make a Taco Bell bet like that.
All right. You want to update the Persona 5's bet? I bet that Persona 5 will come out on the PC before the Switch.
Oh, for sure. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, see? Yeah. I would.
You win. The end.
From Proletariat. Do you ever find yourself frustrated with the pacing, too fast, rush, too slow, dialogue heavy of a JRPG? If so, name some examples. I know Taylor has tons of examples.
Yeah, I mean, Cold Steel 1 is the biggest culprit of this. It's so slow, too much talking. I'll admit, one of my favorite series of Persona, I think the intros to those games have so much talking. And I get it because there's a lot of systems that are happening, so they have to explain it and set up the story. But I think those take so long. Those just go. It takes forever.
I think most JRPGs take a long time to set up.
Yeah.
They are taking, like, they're trying to change it up with the flashback scenes, which is what Persona 5 did. It's what Trails does.
I will say that I think Final Fantasy VII has one of the best openings to any game. It gets you going immediately. It's like, all right, we're on a mission. Let's go. Whoa, okay. So like it starts right away. So yep, I don't think 7 has that problem.
8 has that problem.
8's slow. 8 is definitely slow. 9, you don't. It's a little bit of both. You start off trying to capture the princess, but even then, it still takes a bit of time to get going.
And you're playing Blitzball.
That's right, Blitzball, the worst mini game ever. I'm trying to think of one that's too fast. I can't really think of a JRPG that's paced too quickly, like where things just happen and it's like, whoa, slow down. I don't know. I can't keep up. I'm sure we have, but I can't think of one where there's no time to breathe. It just hops from one story beat to the next. I can't. None come to mind, but I'm sure there's one out there.
I'm thinking of it. Has to be like, I mean, we could say Cosmic Star Heroine sometimes is like that.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. It's not like, whoa, slow down, but it's so short that it never really takes time to breathe. You know, It is sort of just like, we did this, let's go to here. We did this, let's go to here. So, okay. Actually, that's a good example. Yeah, that's a good example.
Me? No. I don't think anything has bothered me like that. I've noticed it. I've noticed, like, I see it's like Falcom games. They like to talk. Yep. And they like their long camera pans.
Oh my God. Especially when you're in a new area.
Yep. They like the camera pan a lot when they're introducing things.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But that's just how they make games. Yep. I notice it, but it doesn't bother me. It bothers Taylor. Taylor cries. He just
why? The town is not that impressive looking.
Why?
Yeah.
If you had from Pigeon Senpai, if you had a friend who was interested in getting into JRPGs, what 5 games would you tell them to check out?
So if it was somebody that was interested, that means they're presumably they're already into games, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What kind of games are we talking? What kind of are they? Are they a mobile mom gamer, or are they a Call of Duty gamer, Fortnite? What kind of game are we talking about here?
I don't know. I'm just gonna generally say, if you're interested in JRPGs, there's something that has sparked an interest about them, whether it's the looks or the storytelling or the combat, something. Mm-hmm. So of course, my number one is always just whatever the latest Pokemon game is, because it's so easy to. Those games are really easy. You can get a sense of what RPGs are. Did you play Sword and Shield?
No, I don't play Pokemon.
Okay, well, I really like Sword and Shield. People took a dump on it. Oh, it removed all these things. They took all these Pokemon out. It was fine. People are such babies. It's probably my favorite Pokemon game. So just play the latest Pokemon game because they're all the same anyway. You're a young kid, you go on an adventure, and then you're the champion. Like that's every game. So I would say Pokemon. I would probably say Persona 5 just because it is so stylish and it is one of the best examples of what a JRPG is and what it can be. What games would you tell them to check out? Oh my goodness. I would say Dragon Quest XI is really good. It's modern, one of my favorites. From an action, if you like action, I would say Ys 8. Ys 8's really good. And then I would say, just for classic's sake, go back and play Chrono Trigger, because Chrono Trigger is a classic and it still holds up really well. And if you're trying to get into JRPGs, you got to play that game. So that would be my 5. Latest Pokemon, Persona 5, Dragon Quest XI, Ys 8, and then Chrono Trigger. Yep. I can't tell if Nick's camera froze. Okay, he's moving. Okay. You're so shocked at how bad my recommendations are.
No, I was thinking, it's like, that's the Taylor side. Now let's go for the Nick side.
All right, so Tales of Destiny, the Destiny remake. It doesn't matter that it's in English or not. Just get it. Tales of Fantasia.
no, but something like that. First, I don't know if we should. I would say, like, they're interested in Japanese JRPGs, right? So obviously they're going to be interested in Japanese culture. So I wouldn't be worried about weebing them out a little bit. So that's when you said Persona 5, I was like, that's a little too much. But then I was thinking about it. I was like, wait, no, they're interested in Japanese. They're obviously probably watch some anime here and there. I would say, starting out, Grandia.
Okay.
You got to start out because Grandia it's a classic. It's old, but it also isn't archaic. You could play it and it won't feel like it's pulling your teeth out. So if you're able to handle Grandia, then you're able to handle pretty much any JRPG, I think. So
it's fair. It's fair.
Yeah, Grandia first. These are hard. Like, all the games I want them to play are like really hard to get. Kind of sucks.
Because they're expensive or something?
They're like, there's no like actual re-releases.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just pretend that they're easy to play on an emulator or something.
Emulator. All right. So Grandia. Not the remaster. I mean, yeah, you could play it on the Vita or the PS3 if you want, or you could play it on the. I have not played the remaster, so I don't know what's like if there's anything wrong with it or anything like that. But when I first saw it, I did notice some sounds were missing, and that's what it was like. That's how the Grandia 2 was like. So it was like sound bugs and all that stuff. But yeah, you can play that version if you want as well. But the game, like, Grandia it's a classic. People need to get on that. Second game, I would say try to play a 2D Tales game. Just try. Okay. Tales of Destiny 2, which is Tales of Eternia. Try to play those games because those are the only English ones. Those two. Sucks. There should be more. But you could find, if you want, you could find Tales of Fantasia translated. Those are good because it goes like this. This is how they were released in PlayStation. Tales of Destiny. Tales of Destiny was the second Tales game ever made. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Tales of Fantasia remake. that's been remade like 5,000 times, but that's the PlayStation version, and Tales of Eternia. Those are the orders. So you see improvements, but they're all really good. If you can't get that, I don't know which 3D Tales game they would play, man.
Everybody always says Vesperia, but I got to be honest, I have tried to play that game twice, and at the same spot both times, the story just starts to peter out, and I start getting bored. So I don't know if I'd say Vesperia. I would say Berseria, maybe. I haven't played it, but everybody seems to like it.
Berseria is like the latest. I just
Abyss, maybe? What about Abyss?
Abyss has the same problem as Vesperia. Oh no, Abyss's story is way better than Vesperia, but it still has the gameplay of Vesperia, which is I mean Racing? It's good. It's slow. It's good, but just like it has that clunky 3D-ness to it because it's like one of the first 3D Tales games.
Yeah. What about Graces?
I love Graces, but Graces is a Wii game, so it's gonna have a cheesy friendship can beat anything storyline. It has good combat. It has combat that's reliant on using items because there's new items that are only in Graces. But that's a good one. And then Berseria, like I would just say just play all of them because that's what I would do.
Oh, you can only pick 5. It's got to pick 5.
So
Grandia,
a Tales game any Tales game that's not Legendia, Symphonia. I would maybe try to avoid Abyss and Vesperia, but Graces, maybe Xillia and Berseria, because Zestiria would give you like a nasty taste in your mouth because it just feels incomplete. Next game, you got to play Final Fantasy Tactics. It's just a requirement. Got to play that.
It's a good one.
I would say after that, Final Fantasy VII remake or the original. I would personally say the original first because the remake's more of an action game. Play the original first for the classic JRPG-ness, and then play the remake. And honestly, that's not even a remake. It's a different game.
It's weird. But I will say, I don't know if you agree with this, but I think a good chunk of the enjoyment of 7 Remake is from knowing what happened in the original 7. Mm-hmm. Just like the music nostalgia, the character nostalgia, just seeing how they recreated all these areas. To me, that was so much of the appeal, to me at least.
Yeah.
But then there's so much that's new in it that's amazing and incredible. So yeah,
I would say Final Fantasy VII. And then number 5, Persona 4 Golden or Persona 5 Royal. Choose any of those. That's fine. Since now it's really easy to get Golden because it's on PC.
That's true. It's true. And it's, for all intents and purposes, it's a PS2 game, so that you could probably run that on a toaster, so.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people, I wonder if my crappy laptop can run it. I'm like, if you can play games on your crappy laptop, you can probably play for Golden.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. Let's do one more. Wingy, okay. I saw Wingy's question. I really like that, but I want Shadow in with this one.
Okay.
That's a very awesome question that I want to talk about. From Spaghetti, if you get a PS5, would you go for the disc or discless model? Do you think of the games shown off at the PlayStation event will make its way to the PS4? I think a lot of those games are PS4 games as well.
Yeah, they as the news came out, most of them were. I think only the first party games are not. So like Spider-Man, Horizon, Sackboy, the Sackboy game.
Yeah, is Resident Evil 8? Is that a next gen game or is it?
I think that's only next gen, from what I read, but I could be wrong. I think people are going to be much slower to adapt these consoles than the last time. So I don't know if it's a good idea to do next gen only, but Gotta sell consoles.
You know what I also think? I think this Xbox Series X is gonna sell like shit.
Really? Why is that?
Because it has the Wii U problem, which is that people thought Wii U was just an accessory to the Xbox, or was just an accessory to the Wii, and the Xbox Series X just sounds like an updated Xbox One.
That's an interesting point.
And PS5, like PS5, it's like, oh, it's 5, it's new, it's the next one.
It's not sexy or interesting, but it's a clear delineation. It's easy to understand.
They should have called. They should have called like Xbox. Xbox 4 or Xbox Revolution.
Xbox Infinity, yeah, something to clearly differentiate it, because like the Xbox Series X, it almost sounds like a special version or something.
Yeah, that's what I was. That popped in my head a couple days ago. I was like, the Xbox is gonna have the same problem as the Wii U, I bet.
That's an interesting theory. I'll be curious to see how that plays out.
Yep.
And Xbox is doing some weird things with their Game Pass, because it's available on Xbox One and on PC. So it's almost like you don't need the console. So I'll be and they've even said they don't have a lot of exclusives at launch. They have Halo, which is going to be a cross-gen game, and it's going to be on PC. So I just think purely from an exclusive standpoint, they don't have anything that's appealing. There was a question earlier, and I don't know if we ever answered it, but they said, are you going to get, or I guess I didn't answer it. They asked if we were going to get PS5 at launch. I always wait for a couple exclusives to start piling up. And I wonder if that will be the case for this one. Like if there's going to be enough interesting exclusives at launch that'll push people to pick it up. But I think if the price is right, I think a lot of people are going to do what you're going to do. Well, if it's backwards compatible, let me just get rid of my PS4 and everything plays on PS5 better, which was not the case with PS4. PS4 could not play PS3 games.
Yep.
So
couldn't play anything, sadly.
Yep. Except PS2 games, weirdly enough. They were like HD PS2 games.
Yeah. I'm just hoping with this one they bring back the PS1 classics, the PS2 classics. I really hope they do.
Can you imagine if they did that with trophies? Can you imagine like Legend of Dragoon with trophies or something? Like that would be cool. I know you're not much of a trophy guy, but
maybe. It's hard to get into Legend of Dragoon. It's very dated.
It is. Even me, like I have a lot of nostalgia for it, but every time I go back, I'm like, the writing is terrible. Or the localization is terrible, I should say. But God, do I love those towns.
Really?
10 out of 10 towns.
10 out of 10 towns. The answer his first part, I will get the disc version. I think we answered this already, but we'll both get the disc version because of backwards compatibility, and I like my physical copies of my JRPGs.
Yep. And then for the second part, I think everything that is not first party exclusive, I think is cross-gen. I think.
Except for Godfall.
Yeah, Godfall is not. And Resident Evil 8 is not. But Kena is cross-gen. I'm trying to think of other games that were shown up. I can't believe they opened the show with Grand Theft Auto 5, a PS3 game.
That was hilarious. I'm like, I was like, is this setting the tone? Oh no. But it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't. That was luckily.
Thank God. Yeah.
And I think when they first showed off the PS4, they only showed off like 3 games. Or 4 games.
It was Knack, Infamous, and then like Dreams,
which didn't come out until recent. It didn't come out until like recently.
Yeah. Oh, and then Drive Club, but we don't like racing games, so.
Oh yeah, they showed off Gran Turismo 5 or 7. That looked cool. Well, that looked good. Like it looked good.
It was a driving game.
It was a driving game. All right, guys, this will be it. It's hot in this room. I'm getting uncomfortable.
Really, it's always freezing cold in your room.
No, I don't know why it's warm. It shouldn't be warm outside. It's just a lot of things are on in here, I guess. I don't know. But Yeah. So hopefully when's the summer? When's that game? New Game Plus? 23rd, right?
23rd. So that is next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Very weird day.
Very weird day. All right. So maybe in our next episode we'll talk about that.
Hold on, let me get that New Game Plus X. Let me double check that. I want to give out the wrong information. Yeah, June 23rd. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sweet. Cool. Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. It was a fun episode. Sadly, Shadow could not be here, but check out his HPMP podcast, which is probably going to be in VOD when this comes out. So, We'll be back next time. See ya.
Bye.